Seema Herman never expected that what she thought was a harmless habit, vaping, would end up nearly killing her.
What we've seen in the course of the past, let's say, month, is an increased number of people who are coming in with respiratory problems as a result of vaping.
The fact that they market this crap to children and they turn it into pink, pretty purple packaging candy pisses me off.
My name's Chance, and 2 weeks ago, my lung collapsed from drooling.
She was vaping a cartridge a day.
Don't let me close my eyes. Don't let me fall asleep or I won't wake up. You don't need it. It's gonna kill you.
There is a fatal trend sweeping across the nation. But contrary to what the mainstream media is claiming, this is not due to regular vaping. Now let's face it, vaping has been the subject of controversy since it hit the mainstream market around 2007. Studies started popping up left, right, and center regarding the health risks attached to vaping, which were extremely low. However, alongside those studies, there were also some negative news surrounding vaping. For example, the popcorn lung and formaldehyde fiasco that happened a few years back, which were easily debunked. Even though the research was easily dismissed, this prompted many anti-vaping groups and news stations to look past the real information and promote the misinformed dangers of vaping, reaching millions of people. The latest in vaping news controversy revolves around hundreds of people across the nation contracting lung illnesses from vaping, with 6 deaths as of this video. This has sparked outrage across the country, with all of these anti-vape activists pretty much eating it all up. To top it all off, we have individuals who have been to the hospital speaking out on their social media pages on how vaping is extremely dangerous and how we need to get rid of vaping as a whole. And with this being a mainly digital world, this gained an immense amount of traction, to the point where even celebrities are sharing their story. The mainstream media started a wildfire within the vaping industry, leading a lot of people to believe that vaping is just as bad, if not worse, than smoking. Vaping advocates around the world have been fighting to change the overall look on vaping, but it seems like an uphill battle. You'd be hard-pressed to find any positive study or report on vaping trending in mainstream media, as all of these negative misinformed studies seem to drown them out. Anti-vaping activists like Truth Orange and The Real Cost are still going off of debunked studies from years ago. However, there are a few things that we really need to take into consideration here, as we're just scratching the surface. While the vaping kills headlines is doing its damage with the support of mainstream media, many seem to skip over some extremely crucial information. First and foremost, there isn't any solid connection proving that normal nicotine vaping is what led to these lung illnesses. In many of these articles, they even state that the CDC has no connection between regular nicotine vaping and these lung illnesses. However, even though there's no connection, stations still took it and ran with it anyways. It was only until recently that some crucial information surfaced. The THC and marijuana market has flourished in the past few years with THC edibles, topical creams, and even THC vaping products. Even though cannabis products are legal in a few states, the underground market was still alive and well. With the popularity of vaping, many black market dealers saw the profit in the industry and cashed in on illicit THC products. But before we dive too deep as to why these illicit THC products are sold, let's first understand how they're made and why they can be so dangerous. THC distillate started becoming extremely popular within the cannabis industry, as it was an extremely potent and pure form of THC. And with that, THC distillate is also extremely expensive, making it one of the most expensive items of consumer goods by weight. However, the issue that arises with THC distillate and how it connects to vaping is that distillate is far too thick to vape. Normal pods or coils are not able to absorb this extremely sappy substance. So people started thinning out the distillate with various products, MCT oil being one of the main ones. Where things get kinda shady is that some people started experimenting with different substances to help thin out their product, most of which were cheaper and easier to get. On top of using random chemicals to thin out their distillate, you also have people people adding thickeners to their product. The main mindset with distillate is that a thicker product equals a more pure product because, as I said, distillate is extremely thick to begin with. So people started diluting their distillate even more and started adding additional unknown chemicals to try to thicken them back up. Now, here's the extremely unnerving part. Black market dealers are also able to buy empty pods in bulk from various countries that come with packaging to look like legitimate businesses. For example, this brand called Dank Vapes. This quote-unquote company Dank Vapes has a full logo, and you can even buy Dank Vape t-shirts along with various pods and cartridges filled with THC liquid. But the thing is, this company doesn't actually exist. Black market dealers are able to buy empty Dank Vape pods, fill them up with whatever solution they make, reseal it, and sell them on the streets. And this is only one of possibly hundreds out there. Now that we know a little bit about the illicit THC market, let's start looking at the real facts. Vaping has been around for years now, and there are millions and millions of people vaping across the globe. From box mods that emit plumes of vapor to small little compact devices with high amounts of nicotine, no injuries or illnesses have been reported. Until recently. Vaping is known and has been proven to be 95% cleaner and safer than traditional cigarettes, and has been a proven way to quit smoking. When using a proper vape setup, the health risks are minimal. These lung illnesses that have been reported are not due to regular nicotine vaping. This is why we can't stress enough the importance of purchasing your products from a trusted retailer. The fact that all these teens contracting lung illnesses just kind of popped up within the last month is kind of fishy to me. Again, there's absolutely no information pertaining to what these teens were actually vaping on. In recent news, 2 brothers were arrested in Kenosha County after a $1.5 million illegal THC cartridge operation was discovered. These 2 were pushing out nearly 5,000 pods and cartridges a day and selling them to pretty much anyone. However, what's extremely interesting is that these 2 were arrested only a few miles away from the first reported incident of vaping illness. Once word got out that people were contracting lung illnesses, the news spread like wildfire. This led to many states talking about banning flavored vape products, with Michigan actually following through with it. Their claim is that e-liquids are targeting the youth with the amount of flavors on the market. Wait, hold on. There we go. It even escalated to the point where US President Donald Trump is planning on banning e-liquids on a federal level. However, it seems like the media is only looking on the surface and is completely overlooking the actual facts as to what's causing these lung illnesses. They think that banning e-liquid flavors is gonna magically solve this youth vaping epidemic. However, there are some underlying consequences that may arise. If flavored e-liquids get banned, either A, absolutely nothing is gonna happen and everyone's just gonna start vaping on tobacco flavored e-liquid, including the youth that they're so worried about. Or worse, B, this has the potential of opening up an entirely new underground market for flavored e-liquid, making the issue of lung illnesses even worse. Instead of scaring people and just banning flavors, why not teach the importance of purchasing your products from a reputable retailer and show the dangers of illicit substances? The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has just announced to the public warning about the dangers of THC and vapes bought off the street. While this is great news for the vaping industry, it may be too little too late. The media's main focus right now is the dangers of vaping as a whole, but have completely overlooked the millions of people it has helped quit smoking. The main focus should be on illicit THC vaping products, not regular nicotine vaping. With all the fear-mongering circling around the news, this has a high potential of scaring away any current smokers looking to make the switch to a life-saving alternative. Now, what can we do about this? Well, for starters, share around the real information. Share around this video, studies done about vaping, which I'll link in the description down below, and help save the vaping community from this disaster that we got grouped in with.